Welcome to Lakehead University's Principal's Qualification Course, Part 1, Winter Semester 2018.
I'd like to acknowledge that we're now recording from the traditional territory of Anemki-Waju, Fort William First Nation, which is located in the northwestern Ontario on the shores of Lake Superior.
As we begin the course, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Christy Radborn, and I'm a principal at the Lakehead District School Board here in Thunder Bay, Ontario. My school is a rural school, Valley Central. I am also a PhD student with Lakehead University. I've been a principal for 7 years and was a vice principal for 3 years previous to that. I have 2 children who are teenagers, and we do quite a bit, and we're a busy family. We're also hosting, and you may hear us talk about, as we go through the rest of the semester, you may hear me talk about our student that we're hosting from Spain. So we are, as I said, busy, as I'm sure many of you are, and that's probably one of the reasons you've chosen an online course, and we are thrilled to have you.
And my name is Denise Baxter. I'm a member of Martin Falls First Nation. I have been a vice principal and principal since 2005. Spent some time working with the Ministry of Education, and just recently transitioned into a role at Lakehead University in the Aboriginal Initiatives Office. I also am a PhD candidate with York University and studying with Dr. Susan DeYoung, and have 2 children, one who's 12, almost 13, and one who is 16 and just learning how to drive. So that's a little bit of my time as I'm sitting in the passenger seat helping out with that. I too have an interest in educational leadership, and really specifically in working with Indigenous students, families, and communities.
So as we get started, you will see us from time to time on videos in the announcements section, so always be sure to check those every day. We'll also bring to your attention ideas or things that we're seeing in posts in our videos. We may make comments. We'll also clarify, because often as we go forward online, when there's not a face-to-face presence, sometimes people need a little clarification of some of the instructions or perhaps some of the procedures for the course. We do ask that you spend the time to please read through the course introduction. It has many materials that are very important to the rest of your sort of career in the PQP Part 1 and Part 2, and particularly in relation to your practicum. You will be completing a practicum proposal during this session, your Part 1 session, and in Part 2 you'll actually begin between Part 1 and Part 2 to work on your practicum. Some of you may finish it prior to the end of Part 2, but others of you will still be working for up to 3 months after Part 2. There are some very important forms that go with this, and they are all found in our course introduction section as well as in Module 1. There is a video as well that will explain how to fill out the forms and how to submit them to us in the assignment Dropbox.
One other thing, we do have some deadlines in terms of the end of the course, but really we've put dates in there for the modules to open at the beginning of each module, but we do have a little bit of flexibility and give certainly when you get those courses in. Please do try to adhere to the general week and a half that you have per module. It just helps keep the conversation current, keeps yourself focused. You may want to check in like every second or third day just to do a little bit every day. That way you're not leaving it all up until, to try to get all in a 12-hour sitting. One of the key things that you do have to keep is a log of your learning to make sure that you're doing the required 125 hours for each of the courses. You can set that log up however you like. You only submit it to us at the very end, and so generally what people do is they write Part 1 module whatever 1.1 or 1.2, or they'll just write Module 1 and put a list of everything that they've done, how many hours they've put, and then at the very end of all the modules we should see a total that is no less than 125 hours, and that does get submitted at the end of the course in your assignments Dropbox. So that's an important just sort of a little accountability piece for us.
And as this is an online learning course, most of your learning will come in the dialogue that you establish with your colleagues in the course and dialogue with us. So we do encourage you, though you only have to post responses to 2 other people's discussion posts, we encourage you to read and continue the discussion even as we move out of modules, because that is where the greatest learning comes from. We hope that your posts as well need to show depth of thinking. They need to show relationships to your work that you're doing or work you hope to do. And they can pull in outside resources. Some of the best ones do pull in outside resources that we often share with both courses, because we'll have 2 sections running at the same time.
So with that, I would like to welcome you to the course. Certainly read the news, because we'll have some information there as well about how to do your EQI if you haven't yet done one. And for the textbooks that you can order. We've cut back, so we actually only have a couple that you have to order. And then we have some online resources for you as well to access.
All right. Thank you. We look forward to learning with you this semester.
Have a good evening.